Right, let's start today's session. This is the fourth session of Python. Okay, so in this session I'm going to discuss about data types in Python programming. So in the last session we just discussed clearly main important fundamentals, like fundamental concepts in Python, and two more concepts required to discuss here. So we discussed in the last session Python indentation, Python indentation, and comment sections in Python, keywords or reserved words, as well as identifiers. We discuss identifiers. Now today we'll discuss about variables and then multiple assignment concept, multiple assignment. Then after we'll start with the data types. Okay, yes. So first of all, variable. So what is variable here? Variable is a named memory location generally. As variable is also called as an identifier. In general, in Python programming, how to declare variable a value 10. A is a variable and value is 10. And how to access this variable, print a. So a is the named memory location. Yes, named memory location where 10 value is going to store in a. So that's what a is, a named memory location. So variable is a named memory location of the value. So this value is going to store in which variable, a. So this is the variable name, and variable is a named memory location. A variable is also called as an identifier. Yes, it's kind of identifier. Identifier means what I said in the last session. In Python programming, any name, it can be a variable name or class name or function name or any name, that is called an identifier. So while declaring variable in Python programming, you need not to specify any data type. The reason is because Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, many times I discussed in the last session. Suppose here a value 10, print a. So I'm not giving any data type like integer or something. So because Python is dynamically typed programming language. So if I give this integer a, it will give error. What error? Syntactical error it will give. Why syntactical error? Because according to Python programming, you should not specify any data type. This syntax is suitable with other languages, but in Python it's not suitable. Only based on given value, data type will assign for this variable. So if you want to know as a programmer which type of data type assigned for your variable, then you will get by using this type function. Type is a built-in function which is used to get data type of the variable. What type it is? Integer type. How do you know? Because I assigned integer value. Based on the value, data type will decide implicitly. If I give 10.9, what type it is? String, float type it is. So float decided. Type is float only. If I give some like name is, I'm giving a equals to Durga. What type it is? String type. And even if I give single character, what type it is? Still it is string type. Because there is no char data type in Python programming. Inside the double quotes, anything if you mention, even it is numbers and no characters, only single character, all together it will be treated as string. str represent string data type. There is no char data type in Python programming. So based on the value, data type will decide internally. So if you want to know which data type is assigned for your variable, and then use type function. Type is a built-in function to get the data type of the variable only. So this is variable concept. While declaring variable, you need not to specify any data type. Variable is a named memory location of your value only. Now observe here. Here I'm taking only one value I'm assigning to one variable. There is a concept in Python programming, multiple assignment concept is there. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning multiple values to the multiple variables, and also it is the process of assigning a single value to multiple variables. Both also. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning a single value to multiple variables, and also it is the process of assigning multiple values to multiple variables. Let's see this example. So generally we are assigning only one value to this one variable, but multiple assignment concept means what? A equals to B equals to C equals to 100. At a time, only one value I'm assigning to multiple variables. Print A, print B, print C. So A and B and C, these three variables I'm initializing. I'm printing like this. But all together, all variables, only one value I just assign. Just observe here, only 100 value goes to A and B and C and like this. All are printing in line by line. If you want to print only within the single line also, instead of multiple print functions, you can also print a single line. Now you can see A comma B comma C like this. All multiple variable values I'm just printing using one single print function. But notice that if I'm printing this all variable values in one line, but I need to provide some separator between value to value. That separator can be of anything. It can be a comma, it can be a colon, or it can be any character or something. So to provide that separator, what we have to use? SEP attribute you have to use. SCP is a separator attribute. Which separator you want, that separator we have to mention in double quotes. So then values will be separated by comma symbol here. And this can be a spaces also, no problem. How long you want space, then that spaces you can give, that spaces will be displayed in the output only. And even I'm just giving colon. Colon is my separator here. Then every value is separated with colon or comma like this. Separator attribute through, we can able to use this. Okay, and this is what we are assigning single value to multiple variables. And let me comment this. And also multiple assignment is the process of assigning multiple values to multiple variables like this. A, B, C are multiple variables, no? And these multiple variables are what actually? 10, 20, 30 values. 10, 20, 30 values orderly it will assign to them. First value 10 goes to A. Second value 20 goes to B. Third value 30 goes to C. This is multiple assignment. Orderly it will assign. Orderly it will assign. Now you can see when we execute this, 10, 20, 30 is printing here with separator attribute like this. Okay, this is multiple assignment. If you change order, then automatically result will be changed. But observe here, I'm not going to use this single line printing. So just I'm trying to do with multi-line printing. Print A, print B, print C now. If I'm doing like this, just run this. All are printing in line by line. Mr. Mali, yeah, now you can see, even though if we use multiple print functions to print your values in line by line, but still my output should be in the same line only. Then at this moment we use what actually? End attribute you have to use. End. End is a attribute which is used to print these values within the same line only. So after printing A, when we use end attribute with some space, after printing a value, end attribute true, it will starts your output will be in the same line by giving some space, ended with space, and print value in the same line. Again ended with space, print 30 value in the same line, and C value end attribute is not required because C after there is no values present. And even we can provide separator also with end attribute. It's possible, sir. Even though you are taking multiple print functions here, but still if you want to display all the values in the same line, then we can use this all the values in same line by using end attribute. So this is multiple assignment concept with end attributes and separator attribute like this. So these are all basic and important fundamental concepts in Python programming. So apart from this, I'm going to start with data types in Python programming. Data types. So only as a programmer, we will not define any database while declaring a data type, while declaring variables. But it doesn't mean that Python don't have data types. It's having a lot of data types. So I'm talking about data types here. What are the important data types are there? Basic data types and sequence data types we'll discuss here. So first of all, data type means what? Data type represent what type of data you are going to store inside a variable. Who will represent? Data type will represent. Data type is used to represent what type of data you are going to store inside a variable. Okay. But in Python programming, once again, I'm telling, we are not required to specify the data type explicitly. Based on the value provided, the data type will be assigned automatically. So that's called the dynamically typed language. So Python contains lots of data types. So basic data types are there here. I'm going to tell you basic data types here first. Basic data types. What are the basic data types are there? Basic data types. These are the basic data types. One is integer. First basic data type is none, and next actually numeric. Numeric classified into few types like int, float, bool, complex. These are all numeric types. And next sequence data types. Sequence data types are there. Sequence data types or data structures also we can call it as. These are all string is a sequence data type, list, tuple, tuple, set, set, dictionary, dictionary, range, range, bytes, bytes, byte array, then frozen set, frozen set. These are all sequence data types or collection data types. So we'll talk about first basic data types in Python program. So generally basic data type is first one is none. None represent means when you don't want to store any value inside the variable, then that variable is set to be none type. In generally, in other languages, programmers will use null, N-U-L-L. But in Python programming, there is no null. Okay. So if you don't want to assign any value to the variable, then you should say a equals to none. None is a keyword especially. And if you want to know what type it is, none type will be represent. A equals to none, A equals to none, and print A, print type of A. Now let's try to run this. What type it is? None type. But in other languages, programmers will use null, null. But there is no such kind of keyword in Python programming. Null is not there. You should not use null. Okay. You should say instead of null, you should say none. When we can say if your variable don't have any value, for example, you don't want to assign the value to the variable, initially you can say none. Then later, if you want to assign the value, then you can remove this none and happily you can just assign the value, what value you want. So this type is what? Sorry, integer type. Integer type it is. Yes, integer type is there. Int. N is an integer. This is, I'm talking integer. And float means what here? This is float only. Just now we discussed float. 10.7 is float. Sir, can we do typecasting in Python programming? Yes, we can do. Typecasting means converting from one data type to another data type simply. For example, here my value is 10. I'm trying to a value 10, print a, print type of a, that is integer only. But I would like to convert this a into float type. So how I can do that? Simple. B equals to float of a, print b, but just for clarity, whether it is float type or not, it's converted successfully or not, you just try to print type of b. So a value 10, print a, print type of a is integer type, but when we try to do this b equal to float of a, print b, print type of b only. This is now you can see result is initially it is integer, but right now we just converted from int to float, so it will be float. And at the same way, can we go for float to int? Yes, we can do float to int. 10.9 is a float, but I'm just converting that into integer format and stored into another variable called b. B is what actually integer type. Float to integer we converted and we got this output clearly. Are you getting? This is int float conversion mechanism here. But in this int and float mechanism, I need to discuss more things in detail about integer and float values. Just observe. See, in my programming up to now, the values I just assigned to the variables and I just print that variables. But did I accept so far any value at running time? Running time means at the time of program execution? No. So now I'm trying to accept the values from the user side. At the time of program execution, I should ask to the end user, please enter some values. As soon as user entered the values, that values I have to read it and print them. So inside the program only, I just given the values, that values I'm printing. That's very simple. But how do we accept values at runtime? Okay, here print is a built-in function which is exclusively for output. If you want to display something to the output window, then we use print. Type is a built-in function which is used to get the data type of the variable. What type of A type is float, A type is integer, like this. Same like to accept values from the user point of view, one function is there in Python programming. That function name is called input function. Input is a built-in function which is used to accept input values from the user. To read user inputs, we use input function. Let's see this consideration. So first I am talking about in string value reading purpose. Suppose I'm taking name. Name is a variable. My name is Mohan, and printer. So just I'm taking name is what I'm assigning, name only. Okay, or else you can say your name is, for example, your name is. So this is not accepting at runtime. Already given the value to the variable inside the program only. That same variable I'm assigning to this print statement. We are getting clearly your name is Mohan. It's fine. But my requirement is this name I should not give inside the program. I should accept from the user end. So input function is there. This is prompt input function. Input function through I'm asking enter your name. Enter your name simply. As soon as when we enter the name, then that name value will go and stored into where? Name variable. So let's run this one. And here you can see output window, it's asking me to enter the name. So I should give my name here input. I'm giving my input values to the program here. What is that input values? Mohan. As soon as when we hit the enter button, then this input Mohan will is going to store inside the variable A, and name is what? Mohan only. Are you getting my point? Yes. So this is what exactly your name is so and so Mohan is there. So we are accepting input values at runtime. What value it is? String value. Let's try to type of name. Okay, what type of variable it is? If you want to know, just try to understand this concept. I'm giving name is DURGASOFT, for example. As soon as when we enter DURGASOFT, that's stored into name variable, and your name is DURGASOFT, and type is what? str. Str represents string. And at the same way, I'm trying to accept integer values at running time. Suppose A value 10, B value 20. Just I want to do sum of two numbers. Sum is A plus B. I'm doing sir. It's very simple and straightforward code. Okay, this will be represent what? 10 plus 20, 30. It's fine. But this integer values I don't want to accept. Here, I want accept at running time. Means you have to use input function. So I'm just asking to the user enter num1, that is first number. And also here I'm asking to the user enter num2, that is second number. This is very simple program. Now this time I'm accepting values at runtime. That means at the time of program execution, user has to enter the inputs like 10 and 20. And when we enter this, you can see this, the output will be 10, 20 is there. So what sir, we are doing A plus B, but we are not getting 10 plus 20, 30. The reason because in Python programming, whatever the values, no matter it is integer or string or float or anything, what values are going to give inside the program at runtime, that will be treated by default as string. So here it is doing string concatenation, 10, 20, string concatenation, that is, it is not doing arithmetic addition. But we need arithmetic addition, no? I should consider this 10 and 20 as a numbers, but how it will be? So let's try to do this first of all, whether this input A is going to consider as what type. If you want to know the type, then just try to mention type of A. And also here after entering second number B, then just try to type of B. So I'm just giving clarity whether your A variable value is integer type or string type is treating. Okay, so let's try to do it. Same values I'm entering 10. Now you can see the type is what? Even if we give integer number, but it's treated as what? String. The reason is what? In Python programming, by default, whenever we enter the values at runtime, that means at the time of program execution, that will be treated as string only. But according to your requirement, you have to do typecast, means converting from string to another integer data type. Even if you enter second number input also, then you got string. Two strings are adding, That's the way result is coming 10, 20 like this. But two integers adding, two integers will add now 10 plus 20, 30 will be there. But my requirement is I should not accept this as an int string. I should convert that string into integer. So for that purpose, I'm taking another variable like x int of a, means automatically x type is what type? Integer type, because we're converting that a into x integer type of x you can try to get. And next b also, I'm just taking y is a variable, integer type I'm converting. For what variable? B variable I'm converting into integer and stored into y. Then print type of y I'm taking here. Y type is what? Integer type again. So x plus y I'm doing now, not a plus b. X is integer, y is integer. Okay. So just we accept value at runtime. In Python programming, what value you are going to what value you are going to give at runtime, that will be treated as string. And but even though that's treated as string converted into integer format, that will be stored into x. X type is integer type only here. And next number I'm entering 20. This is also will be treated as initially first string only. And this x value, b value converted in integer, and y stored. Y value is integer, and 10 plus 20, x plus y, 30 values there. This is the way to accept values at runtime. And if you want to add two numbers by taking at runtime, so you have to be conversion from string to integer. But to add just two numbers, this lengthy program is not required. Just for understanding step by step purpose, I just added this code. So let's remove these complete lines. So I'm going to take more simplifies here. So more simplifies means what here? A plus b, all the lines no need to take, just for adding two numbers. Here only you can able to do convert int of input of enter num1, and here also I'm taking int of input of enter num2. So that's good, because I'm just asking through input function as soon as user entered input values, and it will be converted into integer and stored into a. And also second number, when we accept and integer convert and b, so instantly it will convert that from string to integer. So it will be good. Any numbers you can take, not only this 22 plus 45, 67 is there. This is the case. And in this case, just observe here, we just try to convert them into integer. But sir, if what happened if user entered some floating point? Obviously, you will get an exception. 34.56 we have given, but I'm trying to accept this integer format, but you are giving your input is wrong, 34.56. It's common because due to end user invalid inputs, always in the programming part exceptions will come. This is exception actually. So there is a big topic like exception handling mechanisms, how to handle them without showing this error. We'll discuss in later. But meanwhile, if you want to accept values at runtime, float conversion you want, then compulsory have to take what? Floating point representation. Now this time this float will take care of integer as well as float. Both are going to be fine. 10 and 23.45, 33.45 it's coming. So this is what accepting values at runtime. So make sure that in Python programming, the values which we entered at runtime at the time of program execution, by default that will be treated as what format? String format. You should convert from string to integer or string to float according to your requirement. So this is about integer and float, very basic commonly used data types, these are all. And bool, I'm talking about bool. Bool is one of the data type. It's completely written true or false only. Yes, the only allowed values for boolean representation is true or false based on your condition. We can use this data type to represent boolean values. What purpose we can use this data type? To represent boolean values. Okay, and the only allowed values for this bool data type is true and false. True and false. Internally, Python represent true as 1 and false as 0. Yes, internally Python is going to represent what? True as 1, false as 0. Let's try to figure out this. Just observe here, a value 3 and b value 5 and c equals to a less than b. Yes, I'll talk about operators in upcoming session. Less than and greater than, equal to, modulus, floor division. There are so many operators are there. I'm just taking a value 3, b value 5, c equal to a less than b. A less than b means 3 less than 5. Is it right? Yes. So what about that print c? Okay, print c is what type? True only. And what type of c it is? What is the type? Bool type. Now you can see type of c is what actually Boolean type representation here. True, that is Bool. And if I change the condition, for example, a greater than b, then it is what? 3 greater than 5. Is it true? No, it's false. Again, it is what? Bool type only, but C value is what? Flow. C value is what? False only. In case you if try to convert that into integer type, just observe here, print int of C. C is a bool. C is a false. False can be converted into integer type means what is that? As I said that in Python programming internally, true as 1, then false as 0. True as 1 in the sense you will get true value, that is what? False value, that is what? 0 only. Because of your condition is false. False indicates 0. And when we go for this less than a less than b, then that is what? True. So that means true is indicate what? 1 value. So in Python programming internally, true as 1 and false as 0, especially Boolean representation. The only allowed values for this Bool data type is true and false based on given condition. Even for more clarity, you can see for print true I'm taking plus true also I'm taking. True represent 1 and true represent 1. We are doing plus operator here. So 1 plus 1, the result is going to become 2. And even you can see print 10 is the value I'm taking true. 10 plus true. That means 10 plus true means 1. 10 plus 1, that will 11. So this is the 11 is coming like this one. 10 plus true, that is 11 only. So this is called Bool data type. And Bool representation 0. Sometimes we have to return the values in upcoming program. True means 1, like false means 0. But don't worry about that. 1 is what and 0 is what. 1 means true, false means 0. So this is the based on conditional, it represents this. It's very simple data type. And none and int float bool commonly used data types in our upcoming programming, but it's very rarely used data type like complex. Complex I'm not going to use because the complex data type is the combination of real part and imaginary part, and we can use this complex data type generally in scientific calculation and electrical engineering kind of applications. We can use this complex type only. Are you getting my point? Complex type. So this is complex. Complex is the part of real part and imaginary part. Complex number is always in the form of real and imaginary part. But generally, in any mathematical point of view or any other programming language point of view, real part and imaginary part, for example, a value 10 and b value 20 and c equals to complex part means a plus b I is there. A means real part, b value I means imaginary part. But when it comes to Python point of view, that will be j. I will not be considered. But there is no meaning behind that. Okay, just for a change, they use j only. I will not work out. Real and imaginary part. Consider this. Okay. For example, a value 3, b value 5. C equals to, I'm converting that into complex type. Complex of a comma b I'm taking. So now I'm printing c values are here. What type of c also? You'll just come to know that. What type of c here? A value 3, b value 5, c equal to complex type a comma b, print c and print type of c. What type c it is? Complex type, you can see this. This is complex type. 3 plus 5j is class is complex type only. And now you can see complex data type here. 3 plus 5j written. But in other languages, we'll get 3 plus 5i will be there. I means imaginary part here, but j represent imaginary part in Python program. And complex data type is having some built-in attributes to retrieve the real part separately and imaginary part separately. Yes, Python is having some built-in attributes to retrieve the real part and imaginary part separately. What is that real part and imaginary part separately here? C dot real I'm taking. Okay, C dot real and print the C dot imaginary part is there. These are the two attributes are there. C dot real, C dot imaginary. So let's run this one. We are extracting the real part as well as imaginary part. By default, it is float only. So real and imaginary part. But this is this data type I'm not going to use. in our upcoming programming also, because it is used in generally scientific calculation, scientific application, electrical engineering point of view. This we can use, but most commonly used data type this, and this is very important area. So now coming to the sequence data type. Sequence data type means collection. Each and every data structure. These are all data structures, we can say that, because each and every sequence type is having its own structure. According to structure, we have to follow. These are data structure concept. String is a collection of characters or group of characters. List is a collection of values. Tuple is a collection of values. But all the collection only. But every collection is having its own independent rules and regulations. You have to follow that. But we cannot apply one collection rule to other collection. For example, list rule separate, tuple rule separate. We can't apply tuple rules on list. We can't apply list rules on tuple. So be careful in this case. I'll explain you clearly each and every point separately. In this session, just I'll discuss what is what. But in upcoming session, we will spend lot of time on this data structures. String data structure and its operations. It will take minimum 2 days to discuss complete string. List data structure and its operations. I'll talk about list right now. So what is string? String is a collection of string is a group of characters or sequence of characters. String is a group of characters or sequence of characters. Sequence of characters. Or string is a group of characters or sequence of characters. How we can create string in Python programming? Simple. String can be create. We can create string. We can create a string by using single quotes or double quotes or triple single quotes or triple double quotes. Okay. So max storage is unlimited. As long as memory is required, that's we can store the maximum characters. No unlimited, no limitation is there for string. Are you getting? So let me show you that. So we'll discuss about string more things. String is a group of characters or sequence of characters. We can create a string by using single quotes, double quotes, triple single quotes, or triple double quotes. But generally, this triple quote scenario can be used for multi-line string or group of characters, group of statements purpose. We use this. Normal string, okay, single line statement or one word string we can create by using single quote or double quotes. But I recommend personally to create a string better to use double quotes only. Why? The reason I'll tell you. Let's try to create a string variable I'm creating. My string is S. I'm creating Durga. Print S. Print type of S. Type of S. What type it is? String type. str represent a string. Okay, in Python programming, str represents string data type, but we should not say string string. A string is a sequence of characters enclosed within the double quotes or single quotes or triple single quotes or triple double quotes. But most oftenly used pattern is double quotes option is better. Suppose here I'm using single quotes, DURGA, Durga. It will also work. But the problem with this, what I will tell you. Suppose I want to display my output is like this only, sir. I want to display my output is Durga's apostrophe S. I should include in the output width. How I can do? I'm going to give apostrophe S. So like this I'm giving. But when we give this, within the single code, one more single code I have added. Single code. But it will not possible to do this. Okay, my requirement is I need to get the output like this apostrophe. So inside the single quotes, we cannot include one more single quote as apostrophe, but wherever you want to include single quote, you have to use slash. When we use this slash, then automatically what will happen? It will display your string Durgas including apostrophe s. But to avoid this, what we need to do? Just better to use double quotes. Inside the double quotes, we can include any time single quotes possible here. So that's what I recommend. Better to create a string with double quotes format. And coming to the triple quotes, when we use triple quotes, generally this will be work DurgaSoft within the single line also. But generally, triple quote option can be used for multi-line string. like multiple lines. If you want to work with string multi-line strings, then we use triple quotes. Durgasoft, Hyderabad, Maitronam. So you can see multi-line string. Even triple double quotes also is possible. But here one important notice, important thing. Sir, we discussed in the last session, do you remember comment section? Comment section represent what? This only, no? Yes, triple quote starting and ending triple quotes only. Comment section. But why don't will be treated as comment here? Here this is not treated as a comment because you are going to assign this group of characters into a separate variable, then automatically that variable will be treated as string. But if I don't assign this Durgasoft Hyderabad Maitrivanam to any variable, then it will become a comment. Okay, that is the case actually here. So if you don't assign this group of characters which will be enclosed within the triple quotes, then it will become a comment. And if I assign that, then it will become a string. This you have to observe. Okay, that's what generally in Python programming there is no multi-line string. Okay, multi-line string. Sorry, there is no multi-line comments. Only single line comment is there like this, which starts with hash symbol only. So this is about string, but only this only I can able to discuss in this point of view. This is only, but in upcoming sessions for sure. Once I complete operator concept and control statements like if condition, if else, nested if, elif, for loop, nested for loop, while loop, break, continue, all these things. Once you got a logical things, then we will introduce string data structure and its complete operations. Okay, because before going to discuss in detail, you must and should logical aspects. You must and should aware of that logical aspect. That's what I'm not talking much more about string now. Only just I'm giving introduction. What is string? How to create string? What is list? How to create list? What are the rules and regulations I'm going to cover? After completion of operators and control statements, and then we'll come back with string manipulations. But see here, as a new to Python programming, if you want to know what kind of functionalities we can apply on string, then how do you get? Simple. To get complete functions list about your string, there is a command called dir of str, directory list. Dir of str. So I want to see that complete function list on string. So dir of str I'm taking. So dir of str, these many special functions are available on string, and these many directly functions are available on string. Each and every function I have to discuss in detail with practical implementation. String capitalize, string case fold, center, ends with, starts with, find, lower, upper, join. So many functions are there. I can't list out this each and every function. But when it is possible, once you got an idea about logical statements like for loop, while loop, okay, nested for loop, if condition, if else, nested if, all these things after completion, we'll go through this one only. Sir, we got only functions names, but as a new to Python programming, how I can apply this? I want to know about capitalize. I want to know about is upper. I want to know about join. So we are not getting proper information. Yes, don't worry, that proper information also we will get, but not. Here you can see dir of str means only string related functions list we got, but dir of list means list related functions we are getting now. List functions, these are up and clear copy. Any data structure you can pass, that related functions you will get completely. Only functions list, but not functions list, sir. I want to get complete information related to string data structure and its operations. Means there is a built-in function in Python programming, help of str. Help is a built-in function. Okay, so do you find when we open, did you find when you open ideally? So notice that in the previous examples, ideally platform I user. Let me open ideally. There is they provide automatically help function is there. Did you notice this help? Yes, here this is help of any object. Let's minimize this. Help of str I'm doing. That means you will get complete string functionalities and its syntaxes and description. You need not to go anywhere. Everything is in your hand. You can read it, understand it, and apply it. How it is? It's very simple. Okay, for example, here capitalize I said, or so many functions are there. All functions list, it is there here. You can see this is all functions. Okay, for example, if you want to ends with, so ends with function return true if letter starts with S, your name starts with letter S, like this. Individual functions, yes, each and every string function and its statements, what purpose we use, syntax, clearly they have given, you have to follow that, all these syntactical rules and regulations regarding this. In the middle of working with string functionalities, if you have any confusion, if you have any doubt, you can go and check out with string statements, help of string, you will get string, all related. Not only string related, you can get help of list, means list operations, it's all functions with descriptions clearly, with syntaxes. Okay, it's very simple. And even in the ideally platform also, you can see help function is there, help, you can get help of str from here also. So we got same thing. You can see squeezed text 437 lines are there. Okay, you can double click on it and you'll be able to get all the functionalities here. Okay, help of str capitalize, that will not come. Okay, we have to check over there, capitalize function, all those things. Particular help of, not like that. Okay, so this is what string functionalities or list functionalities. Functions list if you want, then we can get print dir of str. But only each and every function description and statements you want, then we can go for this one only. Help function, you have to go that. We have to go through help function. So this is about completely today's session with what I want to discuss. In next session, that will be on Monday, we'll go through this all functions details discussion I'll do. And next session, mostly the link will be changed. Okay, this link is expired, I think so. And don't worry, those who already enrolled, so today, by today evening for sure, you will get up to know whatever I discuss videos and Python material. And those who not enrolled for this course, please immediately do it. Then only I'll get your mail IDs from DurgaSoft. Then only I can share the videos up to now, whatever I conduct the session, like 4 sessions and recording videos and material, I can able to send to you. Okay. And if you want to continue this session really from Monday onwards, then you can join immediately. And then only you will get a new link to you. So contact to DurgaSoft immediately. How to enroll means just in chat box, our team send a contact details and fee payment details they have mentioned, no, then you can go through that. So same time Monday onwards, your regular time only, no? Yeah, you can no problem. If you did done all this thing Google Pay or something, I'll collect the mails from them. Okay, no worries at all. I'll collect the mails. Officially, I'll collect from DurgaSoft. Once they'll send your mails, then I'll share my videos and material. Just wait for today evening. Okay, up to today evening. And even those who not enrolled for this course, don't waste your time and please enroll if you really interest to join this course. Otherwise, you can go through anywhere, no problem. Okay, yeah.
Sir, I have one question.
Come on.
Can you go to that coding window?
Yeah.
Sir, here, suppose there are, I have, 10 variables, okay, and I want to check the value of 10 variable. Suppose A equal to 10, B equal to 15, C equal to 20, some numbers like that. Even in VBA, other programming language, I see, a local window was there, and I can see all the variable names. Like this, it
That
is there.
that's that is debugging concept. Yeah, when we start
Okay,
debugging, immediately this window you will get variable names and assignment, data type, everything you will get. I'll show you in coming session.
okay, sir, fine. Yeah.
Sure, there is a debugging process is there. When we start debugging, automatically the debugger window will be open in the bottom corner so that you will get clearly initialization, how it is happening, what type of variable it is, everything information you will get.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Yeah. And Monday 10 a.m. same regular time only. Sunday there is no class actually. Yes. See you on Monday. You can wait for new link from Monday session. Monday to Saturday classes. Yes. Only Sunday is not there. Done.